everyone. I'm Julie Kimmel, Project Manager for Moms Clean Air Force. We are a community of more than 1.3 million parents, including more than 50,000 in Virginia, united against air and climate pollution to protect our children's health.
And I'm Bobby Monticello, a volunteer member of Mothers Out Front. We're a national moms climate advocacy group, and one of our main campaigns is to promote to the transition of electric school buses.
So thank you, Administrator Regan, Fairfax County School Board members, Mayor Colbert, and Chairman McKay, Fairfax County teachers, staff, and students for joining us this morning to talk about electric school buses. I am here today because of my 7-year-old daughter. Diesel buses spew pollution that damage the lungs and heart and even interfere with the child's ability to learn. If we want to protect the health of my daughter and her peers, we have to switch our school's fleets to all electric buses.
And I'm here and I got involved because I have 2 teenage daughters who have become increasingly alarmed about the climate crisis. They spent their free time recently talking to legislators, going to protests, and working to make the future brighter. So I had to do my part too. And when I found out that Fairfax County has the 2nd largest school bus fleet in the country, I knew we had an opportunity. Making this transition to electric school buses is an impactful change we can make to reduce fossil fuel emissions, and it's also a very visible way that we can show our kids that we care about their future. And we're so thankful to all of our leaders who are committed to this effort.
And now we'd like to introduce Dr. Scott Braband, FCPS Superintendent, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. It's a great day to be alive in Fairfax County and in Fairfax County Public Schools, and I want to bring greetings on behalf of the entire school board and our school administration. This is just a wonderful event, and Fairfax County continues to lead the way for effective clean energy and for getting all electric school buses by 2035. That leadership has come from our Board of Supervisors and our school board, and again, our chairman of the Board of Supervisors, Jeff McKay, is here. I want to recognize Jeff. And also our school board, Elaine Tolan, member of the Drainsville District, Rachna Sizemore-Heiser, our school board member at large, Carl Frisch, school board member of Providence District, and Melanie Marin, Hunter Mill District. Part of Fairfax County's success is local policymakers, the school board and the Board of Supervisors, realizing the importance of having these environmental goals. And frankly, our kids are leading the way. Our kids know that this is the environment legacy we have to give them, and the change has to start now. And it's happening here in Fairfax County. We are very, very proud of our Get to Green program, and Flint Hill Elementary has been a leader in really creating this Get to Green, this program, environmental program that really builds kids' awareness so they understand the environmental impact. We're proud of our joint environmental task force, as I mentioned, between the school board and Board of Supervisors. And we have our Get to Green program in 150 of our 199 schools. And hopeful with this budget, we'll be able to get to Green into all of Fairfax County Public Schools. I hope everybody enjoyed taking a ride on the bus today. Administrator Regan said, there was no discipline referrals issued, but we were talked to about too much talking on the back of the bus. So, but really to hear the young people, the questions they asked him, and the policy advocacy. I am so proud of our students and the awareness they have, and they know now is the time to take the environmental legacy into their hands and leave them a better place in this community and this earth than what we have found it. So now we're going to hear from our students, and I'm not sure who's first up, but we're going to hear from our students. So who's up first? Eddie? Eddie, woo! There you go.
Good morning. My name is Eddie Felber. I'm a 5th grade student here at Flint Hill Elementary School. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I represent a larger group of students who are invested in environmental education, some of whom are sitting right next to you. We are very excited to share our efforts here at Flint Hill. I'd like to start off by sharing one of my favorite memories in environmental education. As a kindergartner, I fell in love with our beautiful courtyard and most of all with the chickens, 7 hens and 1 rooster. The courtyard provides a space for the students to closely observe the plants and animals that live there and gives the students the opportunity to get hands-on with the gardening. During my time here, I've been able to actively learn and care for these chickens. These experiences fostered love for the outdoors and the environment that led me to take an active approach for caring for it. One environmental stewardship initiative our school has focused on has to do with the waste created at our school. We determined how much trash we were creating and explored ways to reduce it. Students and staff worked together to educate the entire school about recycling and ensure we are each doing our part. To make sure the trash was disposed of properly, I and several of my classmates started what we call the Trash Ninjas. We often spend our recess time picking up any trash that we see with our specialty-made trash can backpacks created for us by our amazing teacher. We also reduced our waste here at the school by starting a composting program. Fruits and vegetable scraps from lunch, as well as garden compost, go in several composting bins. The nutrient-rich soil we get from these are then used in our gardens. One of the gardens I'd like to highlight is the vegetable garden you can see off to my right. Students plant seeds and grow a variety of flowers and vegetables, including sunflowers, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, lettuce, and carrots. We were approved to be one of the first garden to cafeteria schools, which means that vegetables we grow are served in the salad bar in our cafeteria. Connecting students to what they grow and providing healthy foods was a huge accomplishment for our environmental efforts. These are just some of the amazing learning experiences that students explore. I hope you take a moment each day to appreciate the natural world and cultivate a desire to protect it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right, Eddie.
We have notes too.
Hi, I'm super excited to be here. I'm Anika Gupta, and I'm a senior at Madison High School just down the street. I actually went to Flint Hill when I was younger, and I was here when we got our first green flag in 2014 and was part of a couple of the environmental programs they had at the time. But it's amazing to hear about all of the new efforts that have been added and all the effort that students, teachers, and administrators have been making. As Eddie said, environmental education is really important because as the youngest people here, we will be the generation that most feels the effects of climate change. We'll be the ones that continue to face rising sea levels and all the destruction that comes along with it and extreme weather events. Because of this, as I started to learn about climate change, I became more involved in environmental activism. So I started an environmental club at Madison and also co-founded a county-wide Sunrise Hub that focuses on environmental policy and action. In 2019, we held a local strike in Vienna that some of the delegates here were actually at, where we urged FCPS to implement the Green New Deal in Virginia schools. One of the policies involved in the Green New Deal is electric buses, and I know along with that event, other local environmental groups like Mothers Out Front and Moms Clean Air Force also push for that. So I know we're all extremely excited that this action was taken. I hope that in the future we continue to implement more environmental policies and expand our electric bus fleet, as is planned to, and that more schools can implement the policies that Flint Hill has. Thank you.
Nice job.
Good morning, my name is Lena Mudzik, and I'm a 6th grade student here at Flint Hill Elementary. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today. To me, environmental education means understanding our corner of the earth and problem-solving ways to improve and protect it. Just like Eddie, I believe this begins with learning to appreciate and understand the environment. Thanks to the staff, students, and families of Flint Hill Elementary, we are lucky to have so many opportunities here to admire and experience the natural world. We have an amazing courtyard with a chicken coop and sensory native gardens. We also have a monarch butterfly waste station and a vegetable garden, all available to students in our community. One of my favorite experiences is just spending normal classes outside in our courtyard. Who knew reading would be so much more fun when you're next to a chicken? Having these outdoor spaces has allowed us to observe and enjoy the world around us and want to keep it beautiful. To protect something, you must know and love it first. An important part of our environmental education has been reaching out beyond our school walls and connecting with our local and global community. Change is easier when you're part of a team, and our team is big. Flint Hill students collected seeds from our flowers, designed seed packets, and distributed them to our community. We also partnered with our sister school, Bryn Owl Primary School in Wales, UK, on project-based learning that focused on plastics in the ocean and tackled global challenges related to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Both schools participated in NASA's GLOBE project, where we provided information about real-time cloud cover and surface temperature for their global databases. Becoming a global classroom in partnership with our sister school was a big part of Flint Hill's efforts to become a National Wildlife Federation permanent eco-school. We also fulfill eco-school goals through student-led eco-action teams across several grades, with as many as 80 students at a time. These teams focus on pathways to sustainability and explore environmental issues that affect our students and the larger community. A current focus at our school, and for many of you here today, is learning more about using less energy and moving to clean and renewable energy. Previously, our eco-action team ensured that all classrooms were saving energy where they could, including turning off lights and unplugging unused devices. We recently submitted a grant in the hopes of getting a solar installation at school to do more project-based lessons supporting renewable energy and reduce our carbon footprint. Having electric school buses transporting our students to and from school is one more impactful way that our students and community can see that FCPS is committed to helping the environment. Well, let's be honest, they're really cool too. As we look toward to the future, we will continue these programs and add new ones. We will not stop because we cannot afford to stop. We're the kids now, but we have to make sure to improve the environment for future generations. Our school is incredible in helping student-led projects and make change, and we hope more schools will have these opportunities. Thank you to everyone here working towards those efforts, including the 16th Administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Mr. Michael Regan, who will now provide some remarks.
Thank you, Lena, for that introduction. She's a tough act to follow. Eddie, you didn't tell me we were wearing sunglasses today, man. Feeling a little underdressed. Superintendent Braband, Principal Hertzberg, and members of the school board, thank you all. Thank you all for having us here today at Flint Hill Elementary School, and thank you all for your leadership. Mayor Colbert, thank you for such a warm welcome and your leadership as well. Bobby and Julie, as EPA administrator and as a parent, thank you so much for your tremendous advocacy. We are so appreciative. I'd also like to recognize my colleague, Adam Ortiz, Regional Administrator for Region 3, who's here with us today as well. I'd like to start this morning on a serious note by acknowledging the challenging times we're facing globally. And I want to specifically acknowledge the people of Ukraine. We stand united in support of the Ukrainian people and democracy. We know this unprovoked war has led to higher energy prices and raised costs for Americans. President Biden has made it clear that while this will not be a painless process, this administration will continue to take strong action to mitigate the price impacts that we're currently experiencing. Higher prices at the pump highlight the need to accelerate our transition to a clean energy economy and offer affordable and convenient transportation options that are less vulnerable to these price spikes. But there's even another more important reason to expedite the transition to clean energy, and that is our children's health. Every day, millions of children ride the bus to and from school. For many, it's a quintessential part of being a kid in America. But traditional vehicles that rely on the internal combustion engines emit toxins and pollutants into the air. Not only are these pollutants harmful to the environment, but they can be harmful to our children's health as well. Now, we've come a long way since the early days of the horse-drawn carriages known as kid hacks. But folks, it's once again time to reimagine what riding a school bus means for our children. Transitioning to a clean transportation future means cleaner air and less pollution. It means healthier kids and a greater focus and productivity. It means good-paying jobs in American manufacturing. Fairfax County Public Schools is demonstrating exceptional leadership in being an early participant in what we hope will be a widespread nationwide movement. Zero-emission school buses can and one day will be the American standard. So I'm excited to tell you about the work to turn that vision into reality. Last week, I proudly joined Vice President Harris to announce $17 million in clean school bus grants to school districts all across the country. This includes $7 million of the American Rescue Plan funds. These funds are dedicated to reaching school districts in underserved and tribal communities as well to help them purchase electric school buses and charging equipment, putting our commitment to environmental justice into action. This round of school bus grants, well, is just beginning. There's an unprecedented $5 billion, billion with the B, investment on the way for low and zero emission school buses from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law led by President Biden. We're excited to say that we're working to announce the first round of that funding next month. In advance of this announcement, we'll be putting out more information through our website and through a series of webinars that will help potential recipients get a head start on how to request that funding, as well as planning and discussions that may be needed to help schools as they look to electrify their fleets. This investment will transform how millions of students get to school each and every day. It will help clean the air we breathe, protect public health, and tackle the climate crisis. These efforts will help build a better America by sending a strong signal to the industry and communities that zero-emission vehicles, they are the future. And more importantly, our children are the future. And after meeting with these outstanding students today, it's clear that we are in good hands. The questions they asked were unbelievable. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited about what's ahead. Because of these students, I am so optimistic, and now it's time to hit the accelerator. So again, thank you all for having me today, and now I'll turn it over to Adam to facilitate a few questions for the press. All hard questions go to the students, please.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Mid-Atlantic region for EPA. I'm joined by other members of our team here. And in the region, we are on the field and in the field. We're on the field working with you to do our job, to help solve the tough problems in front of us. And we're in the field to get to know you and to listen to you and work together because we're all in it together. I want to again thank our hosts here in the school system, all the elected officials, the teachers, the administrators, the bus driver. I noticed that the aisle had gotten smaller since I was a kid, or maybe I got bigger, but it was a great ride. And most importantly, I want to thank the most important leaders with us here today, our students, our young people. Thank you, you're an inspiration, you're wonderful. We appreciate you. So we'll be overseeing in the region the grants, so we encourage everybody to please compete, and we have all sorts of grants and partnerships and technical assistance to help out any way that we can locally. And with that, we're happy to take any questions. And I hope you're ready, kids, because you're going to get the tough ones.
Any questions from the media?
The kids can handle them. They really can. They're really smart.
I guess maybe hear from a parent or students just a little bit more on that rise in gas prices and why you think this is such a great initiative to keep adding to the fleet of electric school buses.
I'll slide in.
Okay, that would be great. I mean, from a parent's point of view, obviously I want to keep the cost down for the school district so that that money can go to learning instead of gas. And I think that's true across the board. I mean, we all want not to be spending our money on fossil fuels, which are, damaging the environment. And this switch over to electric school buses and to electric vehicles in general can only help everyone.
And I'll just add, we're walking and chewing gum at the same time. We recognize that when we look at this international crisis and the price volatility, a lot of that is coming from crude oil, which is impacting our fuel supply. And as I was talking to the superintendent and to those who are help ushering in this clean electric school bus fleet, the costs are coming down. And the fact that we can have healthier air and not depend on international price volatility and have affordable, clean electric school buses is good for the school system in terms of how we wisely use taxpayer dollars. It's good for the children because they're breathing cleaner air. And it's good for the parents because they can feel good sending their kids to school knowing that one child or their children might have one less asthma attack because they're not exposed to diesel pollution. So this is a win-win-win.
How do we actually message people in Appalachia or rural areas where people might not be so excited about this initiative? What can we start saying to really get people to embrace clean energy in general?
You know, I think one of the exciting things about the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law is most of the money that's flowing through, $5 billion, it will go to communities with sort of zero interest loans and loans that don't require the matching dollars. So whether in Appalachia or the south side of Chicago, I think that school districts and parents and everyone will appreciate having cleaner air, especially in the proximity of their children. So at EPA, we're really focused on how we get these resources to those who need it the most. And I think that many of our rural communities are going to be really excited to, for the first time, qualify for these grants that gets the latest and greatest technology to our rural communities and those who need it the most.
Also, just take a moment to add that last week there was an announcement in West Virginia and a press release by Senators Manchin and Capito announcing the award of a grant just like this for a school system there in West Virginia. So there's participation across the country. Any other questions? With that, again, I want to thank everybody for hosting us here today. All the jobs, big and small, to make this happen. And we're all in it together. So thank you, and have a great afternoon.